Hi, I'm Jess.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And this is ReDIScover, a conversation where we travel through everything that makes up the essence of who we are and how to live authentically and imaginatively.
Here, we invite you to join us as we explore and discuss a little bit of, well, everything.
From Disney to cultivating your most authentic life to deepening your relationships and talking about the real stuff.
We hope you'll find this a space that speaks to you, encourages you, and brings a little bit of magic into your day.
Hi everyone, I'm Jess.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And welcome back to this week's episode of ReDIScover. Happy April, everyone, and we are about to embark on a brand new theme for the month, which is one that we all know and love. It is a completely full month dedicated to our favorite and yours, Disney.
We felt like everyone needed a little whimsy and a little magic, so all of April will be dedicated to not only our favorite place to visit, but a place that Jess and I have called home for a combined, decade, more than that. It's Walt Disney World, guys. We're going all around Walt Disney World, and you're coming with us.
Exactly. So you might remember from the beginning of ReDIScover, we did an audio tour of Epcot episode. It was one of our first episodes. We'll link it in the show notes below. But we are going to go through all of the other parks at Walt Disney World in the same style. We're going to do an audio tour, all of our favorites, all of our highlights, all of our little hidden gems, so you can feel like you're going to the parks with us. Maybe you'll learn something new, especially us living in Orlando for as long as we both did/do. We have discovered a lot of things that you don't typically discover just in normal vacation time because you just don't have enough time.
You could say we rediscovered them, Jess.
We rediscovered so many special places in the parks. So in these episodes, we're not only going to give you the general overview, but also the Kristen and Jess extra magic point of view.
So we're going to kick things off with the original park, the Vacation Kingdom of the World, that this year is going to be celebrating its 50th birthday. Of course, we're talking about the Magic Kingdom. Upon arriving to the Magic Kingdom, whether you choose boat, bus, monorail, a swim across the Seven Seas Lagoon, you're greeted at the beautiful train station. You may hear the sound of the train. What is it? I was going to say the train horn. It's not a horn. The train whistle as you approach, which is, funnily enough, one of my favorite sounds in the entire world. When you enter Town Square, depending on the time of year, you might just see flowers and hear that classic Main Street music, all of the ragtime and the songs from Oklahoma, the Music Man, etc. If it's Halloween or Christmas, you might see scarecrows and jack-o'-lanterns or a Christmas tree as tall as the sky. On the right side of Town Square, you will find Town Square Theater, where you can watch Jess surprise me in 2011 if you want to, or
if you want to watch a clip from when I surprised Kristen in Town Square in 2011. It was included in the Frumpiness Begins tour, which is our vlog from 2019. We'll link it in the show notes for you. But Town Square is a special place to us because of that memory.
Yeah. You can meet Mickey Mouse and Tinkerbell at Town Square Theater, or dine on some super mediocre Italian food at Tony's Town Square.
However, I love Tony's because when I was little, I loved Lady and the Tramp. Like, it was my Disney movie that I repeated over and over and over. So Tony's was like going into the movie. And as a kid, when you see them playing Lady and the Tramp in the waiting area, and you see the little fountain with Lady and the Tramp in the restaurant, it's really special. So I actually don't hate Tony. I really like Tony's, actually. It's not the best.
She's like, actually, it's my favorite restaurant, Kristen.
No, I'll get to my favorite restaurant later, but no, Tony's is my childhood favorite restaurant at Magic Kingdom,
fair.
I think.
That's fair. And I will say some of the more like basic, like you can't go wrong with like spaghetti and meepballs, things like that.
And that's what I always get.
And I will say the atmosphere is very cute. And if you can sit on the porch, if it's not too hot, that like outer, even the sunroom area or the porch. And a long time ago, if you wanted to watch the nighttime parade while you were sitting out there, it was kind of a special experience that you couldn't really get anywhere else in the park. So that was really cool. On the other side of Town Square is City Hall, where our friends in plaid will help you with all your ticketing and dining needs. And no, they don't control the weather, so don't ask them questions about that. But they're there for everything else. And then as you meander through Town Square and make it to Main Street USA, you can walk right down the middle of Main Street USA, but I would advise that you look where you're walking so you don't accidentally fall into the trolley tracks, because those videos are just funny. And on the left side, you will find the Emporium, which pretty much stretches the entire length of that side of Main Street, where you will find every type of Disney merchandise known to man.
One of my biggest tips in the summer is to walk through the Emporium to get that extra AC on your way in or out of Magic Kingdom, because trust me, you will be sweating in July at Walt Disney World.
It's included in your park admission.
Take advantage of the air conditioning.
Oh, I meant the sweat, but okay.
And that.
On the other side of Main Street USA, you will find the confectionery, which I really love because you walk in and it smells like a cavity. And
is that what cavities smell like?
Yes. Have you ever sniffed a cavity, Jess? Ask your dentist. They'll tell you.
Oh.
You can find Mickey Rice Krispie treats, candy apples, brownies, fudge, cookies, cupcakes, seasonal treats, all kinds of things to satisfy a sweet tooth, whether you are 6 or 60. Moving along from there, the following shop on that side of Main Street is the art shop that's in the Main Street Cinema. So they play fun old cartoons, and you can buy actual paintings and figurines and really beautiful Disney artwork to take home with you.
And if you're a VMK veteran like me, the online Disney multiplayer game from 2005, Virtual Magic Kingdom, that art shop is where they used to have the VMK headquarters. So this is a very niche comment, but if you get it, you're going to appreciate it.
This is a very niche podcast.
It is.
So honestly, welcome. We are niche. And then that little alleyway is really nice because on that side of Main Street is also the former Main Street Bakery turned Starbucks location, which I know was a very polarizing thing back in, what was it, like 2012 when Disney did the shift? 2013-ish. I am a big fan of that decision because before that there was really nowhere to get good coffee in the parks. However, there's no seating inside that Starbucks. It's just a really, really big location to pack in a lot of under-caffeinated guests, which is honestly a really scary prospect. So once you have your coffee, you can go sit in that little alleyway and enjoy sitting at those little red tables with the stripy umbrellas, and it's sort of like hidden away a little bit. A lot of people don't stop on their way to whatever land or attraction they're going to take in that little corner of Main Street, and I think it's a really cute place to relax.
I just wish they kept the cinnamon rolls from Main Street Bakery from back in the day. Again, if you watch Frumpiness Begins, you'll know I had a cinnamon roll obsession. Moving on.
The very end of Main Street on the right-hand side past Starbucks is the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor adjacent to the Plaza Restaurant. At the Plaza Restaurant, you can find some old-timey home-cooked comfort foods, you know, club sandwiches and meatloaf and all those mom foods, chicken noodle soup, things like that. Or if you're just walking by and you want an ice cream sundae, the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor not only smells like a fever dream of deliciousness, but also has some really good ice cream. I'm a big fan of the All-American sundae.
I was literally going to just say that.
It's like vanilla ice cream with chocolate fudge and peanut butter sauce and chocolate chips. And basically it's like chocolate and peanut butter. Where can you go wrong with that? I want it right now.
And then across the street is Casey's Corner, which is a little hot dog quick service restaurant. They have, of course, your classic all beef hot dog with french fries, but you also can try out their specialty dogs. And the thing they're really known for, though, is the corn dog nuggets. It's like those corn dogs you always hear about from Disneyland, but they're in nugget form. So you can take them to go, and they're pretty good, I have to say.
I miss back in the day when Casey's had that inside seating with the bleachers and all the old, like, Goofy sports cartoons. Those are my favorite. My brother and I love the Goofy sports cartoons, and we used to sit there and we would eat the Cracker Jacks that came with our hot dog because I really wasn't interested in the hot dog part. I just wanted the Cracker Jacks. And we would watch those cartoons, and we, like, did not care that there was a theme park outside. We were just like, this is fun.
Honestly, I think I have the same exact memory with my brother, so I think it's a universal experience.
Yeah. So about 6 years ago, Walt Disney World totally redid the front of Magic Kingdom Park in front of the castle between Main Street USA and the castle, and expanded it significantly to improve foot traffic and fireworks viewing. And they added in the infamous hub grass, which basically is not real grass because real Florida grass is very spiky and coarse and not comfy at all to sit or lay on. So you have some cozy spots with this beautifully manicured, not real grass that you can enjoy your ice cream or watch the fireworks from. Or just take a little break in the middle of the day to have some water and sit down. Maybe let the kids run around while you just, like, take a load off for a moment. It's really nice. You get great panoramic views of Magic Kingdom. You can see parades and shows from there because there's not a lot of obstructions. You can see the castle really well. And there's fountains and little statues all around with the characters. And it's really cute. And I think it was very well designed. It's definitely opened up the space quite a lot and made almost the lead up to the castle feel more grand and, like, cinematic. I think it looks really great. But now you have a decision to make, because you could go straight through the castle and go to Fantasyland, or you could turn right and head to Tomorrowland. But we're a little partial to the left side of Magic Kingdom, so we're going to turn left. We're going to wave hi to Walt and Mickey as they guard the castle at the partner statue, and we're going to make our way to
Adventureland. Of course, I was very excited to guide this part of the audio tour because Adventureland is near and dear to my heart as a former Jungle Cruise skipper, a land that I just love. You will hear the music that is going to play on loop. We love the Adventureland loop.
We do.
So you're going to head into the land. There actually is a spring roll cart that is out there.
But they raised the prices.
They did. So it's a little pricey. But
it's like $10 for 2 spring rolls, you guys.
Yes. However.
It's a lot. They're good.
However, there's these pizza ones that that Stephen and I talk about all the time. Yes, we have moved to Buffalo and get to have the original pizza logs, which are significantly better. But if you don't live in Buffalo, which most of you probably don't, the spring rolls are worth a splurge, the pizza ones. So, pro tip. There's Sunshine Tree Terrace, which is home of the Citrus Swirl. If you've seen the orange bird, he is the mascot of this snack. And then there is...
I want to be the mascot of a snack.
That would be on brand for you. And then there's also Aloha Isle, which is the home of the Dole Whip, the ever famous. However, Sunshine Tree Terrace is first when you enter in Adventureland. There's a debate. Is Citrus Swirl better or Dole Whip better? It depends on the person. I personally tend to lean towards Citrus Swirl. Shocking, I know. But it's really good. So
everyone just went.
So if you haven't tried a Citrus Swirl before, try it out. It's kind of like a creamsicle, but in soft serve form. Really good, really refreshing. So you're going to continue on in the land. The next thing on the right side of Adventureland is Skipper Canteen, which is a Jungle Cruise themed restaurant, which is so much fun. There are so many different tributes to the rides. The waiters and waitresses are called skippers there, so they are interactive, telling jokes. The food gets mixed reviews. They've altered the menu quite a lot. I've enjoyed it when I've gone, but it's not one that I like run to go back to often. I think when I go, though, I have a lot of fun because I just love Jungle Cruise. It feels more like modern day Jungle Cruise rather than original attraction Jungle Cruise, but Jungle Cruise.
I've never been there. I've never been there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I hear pretty good things, though.
Yeah, it's good. So I haven't gone recently. It's been a couple years, but I would definitely go back. Then if you go outside, continue outside, on your left is going to be the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse, which is a walk-through style attraction where you're going to literally walk through a treehouse with different scenes set up based on the Swiss Family Robinson movie. Very self-explanatory. But I think the best part about it is the view when you get to the very top. You can see a really great view of Magic Kingdom. You can see the castle really well up there.
Also, nobody asked me, but I'm giving my opinion anyway. I tend to be more of a Dole Whip person. Thanks for asking, Jeff.
You're welcome. Well, I was going to get there, but...
I'm kidding. No, Sunshine Tree and Aloha Isle have had such identity crisis because I feel like they keep, like, flipping locations.
They flip locations. Aloha Isle was originally at the beginning of Adventureland, and now it's at the end. Because Dole Whips are significantly more popular, they needed more space with it. So, honestly, a good move. You have the opportunity during non-COVID times to meet Aladdin and Jasmine, which is super fun. One of my favorite things to do in the olden days of my Disney experience. And across the way from that meet and greet area is the Magic Carpets of Aladdin attraction, which is like Dumbo, but with magic carpets. That one is fun because you get to tilt the carpet back and forth and not just go up and down. So there is a little extra layer of animation there. And down the pathway is the Jungle Cruise. And of course, this is one of my favorite attractions of all time. The skippers tell hilarious jokes. You're going to be taken through so many different show scenes featuring all of the jungle animals of your dreams. You're going to go through a hippo pool, a safari. You're going to see elephants, lions, zebras, giraffes. You're even going to go into a cave. It's very spooky and very cool. So Jungle Cruise is a great experience. That one's really fun for kids to look at the animals and for the adults to hear the jokes. Cross your fingers for a hilarious skipper because it makes all the difference.
As a non-former skipper, because I know Jess is biased.
I'm super biased, but
I have loved that attraction probably for my whole life, and I love the dry humor. I think that's the best when you get a skipper who really embodies that. It's so funny because kids do get some of the jokes, but really the adults are the ones laughing their heads off, and it's just so fun for everybody. And I think it's just a good laugh, and you do sort of just like forget where you are for a while, and it's like it's understated because it's not like super high tech or anything, but it's really just fun for everybody. I love it.
So Jungle Cruise is one of the original opening day Disneyland attractions, so that's why it has more of a vintage feel to it. Moving on from the Jungle Cruise, you're going to go back up the stairs and continue on into the next portion of the land, which is themed after Pirates of the Caribbean. You may or may not know this, but Pirates of the Caribbean, the movies, were actually based on the ride. And then once the movies were created, the rides were inspired by the movie, and they added in Captain Jack Sparrow animatronics. So that is a really cool like circle of inspiration. Pirates is so much fun. It's a boat ride. It is a slower moving boat ride. It has one small dip in it. So if you have children who are slightly adventurous but not scared of the dark, if they're scared of the dark, it's an absolute no-go. But if they are like warming up to new rides and new experiences, Pirates can be actually really fun. There is no height limit on it.
I think it's like a good gateway ride for the thrills, like getting them used to kind of experiencing new things and maybe combating little fears here and there to like open them up a bit. I think Pirates is a good in-between one.
Yeah, absolutely. And the drop is really, really small. It's like a slide at the playground, so you're just in a boat. From there, we're going to transition into another land.
Well, yeehaw! Knew I was going to do it.
We gave her this land because it's the frumpiest land.
The frumpiest land in the Magic Kingdom, so of course I had to do it. We are going to transition from the swashbuckling pirates of the Caribbean to the Wild Wild West of Frontierland. There are only 3 attractions in Frontierland, technically. But when you first cross the bridge from Adventureland to Frontierland, you're going to hear screaming. Because the most racist attraction at Walt Disney World is located in Frontierland.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real, guys. Hey, fun fact, Disney is actually revamping Splash Mountain to be Princess and the Frog themed. And I, for one, am so excited about it.
Me
couldn't
too.
possibly sit still. In fact, I'm jumping out of my seat right now. Just thinking about the Bayou and Louie and Tiana and Naveen. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. Whether or not you loved the original Splash Mountain, which if you've been around for a while, you know that used to be my favorite ride at Walt Disney World for a number of years.
The ride itself is so much fun.
It is. It's really fun. It's really cute. The songs are catchy. Again, one of those rides that's great for younger kids. There is a height minimum. So if you're trying to... Okay, it's 40 inches. Thanks, Jess.
You're welcome.
Thanks, tour guide Jess. So if your child is over 40 inches tall, which honestly I'm barely over 40 inches tall,
oh my God.
They can ride Splash Mountain. And I think it's fun because it is whimsical and it is largely in the open, so not a lot of it is in the dark. And so I think it's fun for kids. And plus the added we're getting wet thing, like that's just exciting for kids because they don't care if they walk around with wet pants all day.
Oh my gosh.
And next to that attraction is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which is the wildest ride in the wilderness. It's a lot of fun, not super scary, not super triggering for motion sickness because a lot of it is outside. And those are the two main thrills. Now I will say that they do attract a long wait time. So when FastPass Plus comes back, definitely grab a FastPass for one or both of those attractions, or plan on heading there at the beginning of your day to avoid those long wait times, or at the very end of the day, especially during fireworks or parade times when people are otherwise occupied.
So as far as those two attractions go, I think as a kid, Thunder Mountain was my favorite ride. I was very scared of coasters until I was about 10, and that's when I first went on Thunder Mountain, and I could not get enough of it. I was very terrified of drops, and there are not really any drops in Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It's more like sideways curves. So you go up, and then you go down the mountain in curves, and then you go up, and then the same thing like 3 times in a row.
And if you are a little scared of roller coasters, we've got a very relaxing attraction for you that may scare you in other ways. It's the Country Bear Jamboree.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. It's exactly what it sounds like. These are animatronic bears. They sing about everything. Love, loss, heartbreak, letdown, rejection.
All of it. Blood on the saddle.
Blood on the saddle. All the guys who turned me on, turned me down. Oh, we've got everything. It's very relatable. Any raw human experience. Like, these bears have been through it too.
There's even a bear who's drinking wine and dabbing away her tears with a tissue.
It's true, which feels honestly like the bear that I would be if I were in the Country Bear Jamboree.
I feel like she's wearing like a tutu and a bow too, so it's really fabulous.
I don't know if I would wear both of those things at the same time, but separately I would.
At one point. Maybe.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Absolutely. It's a frumpy attraction. It's a great time. It's absolutely, I think, a must-do.
It's a cult classic, too.
Yes.
There's a huge Country Bear fan base.
Oh. It's not my favorite show. It's not my favorite, you know what I mean? Those like I would take Muppet Vision over Country Bears.
I would say I love it for a good laugh.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Not in my top tier, but definitely
super
funny that it even exists.
If you're bringing your grandparents to Disney, they need this in their lives.
Yeah.
And you need to watch them laugh at this show. I mean, it's just fun for the whole family, but especially I think those older generations really have a good time with it. So those are the 3 main attractions in Frontierland. You can walk along the rivers of America, past the Country Bear Jamboree and the semi-mediocre, although not terrible quick service restaurant that is Pecos Bill. Mm-hmm. Occasionally you'll see Chip and Dale in their cute little Western outfits.
Or the Country Bears might be roaming around
But
too.
What's more important?
Definitely Chip and Dale.
That's what I thought.
More likely the Bears.
Not really.
Really?
Yeah, Chip and Dale hang out there every single day, even now.
Really?
If you look up above the theater from time to time, they come on out on that balcony and sure do wave to everyone and shake their cute little chipmunk tails. And if you look at the back of their vests, they're embroidered with their names.
Really
so
cute.
You have no excuse to not know which one is which because their names are literally on their outfits, people.
And Chip literally has a chocolate chip nose.
Yeah, I hope you all already knew that and we're not telling you something new at this point. And we're continuing on, but now we're not in Frontierland anymore. Suddenly I hear the fife and drum, and off in the distance I can see a guillotine. Where am I? At the Magic Kingdom, Jess?
You are actually. You just stumbled upon Liberty Square, which is the next land in the Magic Kingdom. There are a few things to do in this land. It is probably the smallest out of all of the lands, but when you enter from Frontierland, on your left is going to be the Liberty Bell Riverboat, which will take you on a small scenic journey around the river. You'll pass by things in Frontierland and do a little circle. Very relaxing. They typically close a lot earlier than the other attractions, so if it is one of your must-dos, do it earlier in the day. Also in that area, my personal favorite restaurant at the Magic Kingdom, which is Liberty Tree Tavern. That's a little bit actually before the Christmas shop, but I got ahead of myself because Christmas, what else is new? But anyways, Liberty Tree Tavern is delicious. It's, like I said, my favorite table service restaurant at the Magic Kingdom, and actually probably favorite dining option overall. It's colonial style interior, and the menu there is like a Thanksgiving feast, which is delicious any time of year, in my opinion. You got your turkey, you got your pot roast, you got stuffing, mashed potatoes, and some vegetables, I think depending on the season, but typically like corn and or peas or green beans, something like that. And you typically finish the meal off with ooey gooey toffee cake, which is a very delicious dessert.
Especially if you're visiting in the like winter time and it does get a little chilly out, especially in the evenings at Magic Kingdom. I think it's a great like cozy atmosphere in there, and it's just those like comfort foods, especially if you've had a long day, you're on your feet, you feel really hungry and tired, and it's just it's literally like having Thanksgiving at Magic Kingdom. It's so cozy.
Moving on from Liberty Tree Tavern, you see the Hall of Presidents, which is an animatronic show featuring all of the United States presidents. Yes, all of them, for better or worse, but there's a...
That's the most diplomatic thing you've ever said.
I try. So there's a show giving you some background on American history and the presidents themselves, and typically the current president of the United States does a little extra speech, which is kind of cool. They haven't updated it as far as I know yet.
Not yet, but it's coming.
But it's coming. I cannot wait till the first woman president is in the Hall of Presidents. It's going to be a great day. If you don't care about presidents, if you're not from the U.S., whatever, it's a great place to take a nap for.
Or if you are from the U.S. and you don't care about presidents.
You're really tired.
Or if you're just tired because 2020 was a lot. This is a great place to take a nap.
And you are going to want some energy because... Well, first, you can stop and get a little snack right next to the Hall of Presidents. There's a small little food stand called Liberty Market.
They have giant pickles.
And they have giant pickles.
That's all I have to say.
Kristen really loves them. They also have hot dogs, turkey legs, and snacks. They actually had a lot of healthier type options there.
I think that Magic Kingdom is one of those parks that if you do have dietary restrictions and you aren't planning on eating a sit-down table service meal while you're at the park, if you're planning on just snacking around or eating quick service meals, and you have dietary restrictions or allergies or food sensitivities, or you just like to eat like a healthier diet in general, even when you're on vacation, Magic Kingdom is probably, to me, the most limited with options. So I would say bring some of your own snacks to this park day. And there are plenty of places to sit down, take your mask off, drink some water, and have a snack. But I would say bring, fruit, granola bars, whatever healthy snacks you need to get you through the day.
Moving on. So you took your snooze in Hall of Presidents. You got your snack at Liberty Market, and then you're going to go to the one main attraction in Liberty Square, the Haunted Mansion. Hop into your very own Doom buggy and take a slow-moving ride through the mansion itself. There isn't anything that is super scary in the Haunted Mansion. I know a lot of people go into it expecting it to be scary because it's haunted. We are huge Haunted Mansion fans.
I was going to say, it's my favorite attraction at Walt Disney World. Like, bar none, hands down. So good. I love the music. I love the story. I love the details. I love the literary allusions. I love all of it.
It's so good. Once you take a look through there, you have made it completely through Liberty Square.
Yeah. The only other thing that's around is the Columbia Harbor House is the
I
quick
forgot
service
that one.
location in Liberty Square. It's not currently open, but hopefully it will reopen soon. That was actually my favorite quick service location at Magic Kingdom. I thought it had the healthiest options and some different things that you don't find at all the other ones. It wasn't like your typical like burgers and fries. And if you sit on the second floor, there's some cute little rooms where you have great views of Fantasyland. So it's really kind of cozy. It's almost like a good respite from the busyness of Magic Kingdom.
I think it's one of the easiest quick services to find seating in, for sure.
Yeah.
And if all else fails, they do have chicken fingers there. So if you have a picky eater. But they also have some other stuff, too.
Picky eaters annoy me. If you walk up the little hill underneath the viaduct, ooh, that's a fun word. I don't think it's technically a viaduct because there's no water underneath it, but there's a little covered walkway between Memento Mori and Columbia Harbor House, and when you get to the other side of it, you're in Fantasyland, and on your left-hand side, you'll find the beloved tangled toilets, the cutest restrooms in all of Magic Kingdom. You'll see...
all of Walt Disney World.
Honestly... Rapunzel's tower, the floating lanterns, you'll hear the music. It's beautiful. They totally could have done something else with it, but alas, bathrooms. I'm sure Rapunzel feels awesome about that. And on the right-hand side is one of the longest wait times you'll find at the Magic Kingdom. It is for the attraction, also an opening day original, Peter Pan's Flight. It's actually a beautiful ride. I love it. The queue is also really cool. They updated the queue in recent years, and you get some really magical Tinkerbell moments as you wait in line, so it kind of makes it more interesting because that wait time does tend to get a little long.
Yes, if you can get a fast pass for it, do it when they come back.
Yeah, I think if you have little ones, you're definitely going to want to snag a fast pass for it. I, however, cannot ride it with anyone but my mom because if I do, I feel sad and I miss her because it's our favorite attraction to ride together and she loves Peter Pan and Nana is our favorite. So across the street from Peter Pan's Flight is the classic attraction, Classic. Wow, we did not plan that, you guys. Of course, we're talking about It's a Small World, another classic opening day attraction, another classic song. Is it stuck in your head? Are you thinking about it?
I'm thinking about it.
You're welcome. This one can get a little long wait time wise too in the middle of the afternoon, like strangely, because you wouldn't think that it would, but it is such a slow moving attraction that it does tend to get backed up. So I'd say if you want to ride this one, do it at the beginning of the day or the end of the day or while everyone's occupied by a parade.
And don't choose that as your, like, time filler attraction because it is about 14 minutes, like, minimum, usually.
Just being on the ride, yeah.
So, yeah, it's... Give yourself adequate time to do this attraction.
It seems like it'll be shorter than it is, for sure. In the center of Fantasyland, of course, you find Prince Charming's Regal Carousel. That's kind of the attraction that inspired the idea for Disneyland. He was... at the park and they saw the carousel, and as they got closer he saw that only some of the horses jumped and some of them were just stationary, and he was like, I want to have a carousel while all the horses jump. So it was sort of an inspiration for Walt to take a very classic concept and make it something a little extra magical. And then across the way, speaking of magical, we've got something PhilharMagical. Mickey's PhilharMagic, which is my favorite 3D attraction probably in all of Walt Disney World. It takes you through that renaissance of Disney movies that Jess and I grew up loving. If you were a 90s kid, it's The Lion King, Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, all of the best films of the late 80s and into the 90s. And we love it. It's all your favorite songs.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's funny, it's witty, it's charming, it's clever. It'll make you cry, it'll make you laugh. It's so much fun for the whole family. Like, nobody leaves there not having had a good time. And then you'll see the backside of the castle, which is honestly an attraction in and of itself. It's so beautiful. And inside the castle is Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Yes, Jen?
I worked at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique,
Oh, yes.
so I'd love to just elaborate on it a little bit.
Please do.
So I don't know if it's actually in the castle currently anymore. Actually, for COVID, it's like totally shut down, but they were moving into a bigger space and redoing it. But the concept of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is you take your children up to the age of, I believe, 12 or 14. I can't remember. I feel like it was 12.
That sounds right to me, yeah.
Yeah, you take your children up to the age of 12 to go in for a princess or prince transformation. Most were princess. Disney Depending on what package you chose, you could either get just hair and makeup done, or you could do the whole shebang with the dress, hair, makeup, crown, wand, all of it. Fairy godmothers in training do the transformation, so it is a whole elaborate experience. It's really magical, really fun, sometimes more fun for the parents, sometimes more fun for the kid. It really depends on the personality, but it's really special because every transformation is done away from the mirror. The kids get sparkly pixie dust in their hair, and then they get turned around in their chair and see the grand reveal, and PhotoPass captures their faces in the mirror. It's so fun, so magical, and the kids leave feeling like royalty and walking around the Magic Kingdom all done up. If you can get an appointment more early in the day, you get the most out of it. Just because, you know, the day goes by. If you get it done late in the day, they go to sleep. It kind of gets messed up. So try to get that earlier appointment if you can. But super special occasion, so fun for birthdays or for family trips where there's a bunch of little nuggets running around. Or if you just have a kid who loves the whole princess thing, it's really fun. So that's my plug for Boutique for when it reopens post-COVID.
Yeah, I love watching their confidence. It's so fun to watch them just light up and come, you know, just kind of, I think it for some of them is the first time in their lives they've imagined themselves like as something else, you know? It's fun to like engage in that play and that imagination with them. I love it. And then...
Oh, wait. And if you can't get an appointment at Magic Kingdom, there's also one at Disney Springs.
That's true. And then, if they want to show off their new look to their favorite Disney princess, there is a super magical dining location located in the heart of Cinderella Castle. It's Cinderella's Royal Table, so you actually get to dine in the castle. And when you arrive for your reservation, you are greeted by Cinderella, and then you're escorted by the castle footman to your table inside the castle, where it is likely that you will see Ariel, Princess Aurora, Princess Jasmine, and Snow White. And that's a pretty fun crew. So, individual interaction with every single one, which is great because that's 5 princesses all in one location, and you don't have to wait in line. So, honestly, if your son or daughter is super into princesses, I think that's a great way to meet a lot of them at once, especially if you have a shorter trip and time is of the essence. So, it's a great spot. And then after you finish your meal and you return to... yes?
It can be difficult to get a reservation there, though, so make sure to book it the day that reservations come out for your vacation. I think it's like...
So right now, it's 60 days out.
60 days out.
If you want to dine in the castle, even just for that atmosphere alone, I think it's beautiful. It's just super magical.
You got to do it at least once,
you do.
I think.
It's one of those bucket list things.
Yeah.
As you continue along, you will find the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, where you climb aboard a honey pot and you make your way through the 100-acre wood, which is so cute. I'm a big Winnie the Pooh fan, so I always love this ride, and it's so funny. Every time I'm with someone at Magic Kingdom, I'm like, you want to ride Winnie the Pooh? And they're always like, why? And I'm like, okay, never mind. So sometimes I ride it by myself. It's fine. And across from Winnie the Pooh is probably the most popular ride at the Magic Kingdom. The Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which opened back in 2014 to rave reviews. It is the smoothest ride at Walt Disney World. It is so much fun. I love that the story is about the dwarves and not the typical princess fairy tale story. You get to follow them on their workday, hi-ho, into the mine. The animatronics are beautiful. The whole ride is so fun. The only complaint I have is it is very short.
Very short.
But I think it's worth it to do. At the end of the night, the wait time tends to go way, way down, so ending your night that way. And it's really fun to ride at night because when you come out from the mine, you can see the castle lit up at nighttime, and it's beautiful. So that is probably the most popular attraction. Again, when FastPass comes back, definitely grab one. If not, I would say either start the very first thing you do in the beginning of the day with that or round out your day. But the best part of New Fantasyland, and we're still calling it New Fantasyland even though it's just the back part of Fantasyland, is actually beyond the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and this is totally my opinion. Back in 2012, Disney decided to make my heart explode and put my 2 favorite Disney stories in one place, right next to each other in New Fantasyland. And first you see Belle's Village, and then you can walk over to Atlantica and be immersed in the Little Mermaid story. So as you walk past Belle's Village, you'll see Enchanted Tales with Belle, which is not currently operating, but is the coolest. Basically, you are invited into Belle's cottage, where you will be taken into Maurice's workshop, and you get to go back to the day that Belle and Beast fell in love. You get to participate in that story. Basically, Lumiere just wants to calm Belle's nerves before her big dinner with Beast, so he decides to invite some of her closest friends to the castle to help retell the story of how she and Beast met. It's very immersive and super fun. And then also in Belle's Village, you'll find Gaston's Tavern, where you can grab a LeFou's Brew, which is a non-alcoholic, slushy, apple-y tasting beverage that's actually quite good. It's almost like an apple cider slushy in some ways. Between Enchanted Tales with Belle and Gaston's Tavern is the Beast Castle, and if you can snag a reservation, they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I believe it is all a prefix menu at this point, and you can sit in either the ballroom or the West Wing, or this kind of enchanted storybook room where you'll see a lot of pictures and stories and memories from Belle and Beast's time together. And all three rooms are honestly so beautiful. I think the ballroom is like the big grand one, because you're like, oh my gosh, it looks just like the movie. And
I think it's perfectly to scale.
Yeah,
too.
And the West Wing is so mysterious and cool. I'd say if you have little ones who are kind of scared of like storm sounds or the dark, maybe don't sit in there. But every single detail was just so well attended to, and it's just so beautiful. I actually was there on New Fantasyland's opening day, and I got to have dinner there, and I was like, I got to meet the Beast. He bowed to me. I was like exploding everywhere, and yeah, that story ended up being a really big part of my life. So I'm a big fan. I think you have to eat there at least once in the ballroom. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner are very good. It is a little pricey. I think breakfast is probably your most reasonable option. It's just a great way to get out of the heat. Continue on to the seaside town somewhere in Denmark, where Prince Eric's castle is. You'll see the castle. It's so beautiful. The colors are bright and vibrant. You'll hear water sounds, and you'll see all of this aquatic foliage start to spring up. There'll be rock formations, and that is where the Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid attraction is located, where you can hop inside a clamshell. And Scuttle, of all people, birds, is going to narrate the story of Ariel. And I think it's so cute because Scuttle is so underrated, and I love him so much.
The only bird you like.
And the only bird I like is Scuttle. It's very true. He's the only bird I like, but I love him. And he has a funny little way of mixing up his story and forgetting certain details and having to start over. And it's very cute. And I highly recommend it.
Usually not that long of a wait.
Yes, because it is in the very back of the park.
Yeah, especially at nighttime. Sometimes during the day, but nighttime, it's like usually a walk on.
Very chill. Separately from the attraction, fun fact, a lot of guests actually get this wrong. Mm-hmm. They'll walk into Ariel's Grotto, which is the meet and greet location where you can actually go into Ariel's Grotto and meet her there as a mermaid with all her gadgets and gizmos. She may even have a dingle hopper if you ask to see it. But a lot of guests will walk into the grotto and think that they are in line for the ride. Mm-hmm. So make sure before you get in line for something that you know whether it's the attraction or the meet and greet, because you might end up being a little disappointed when you see a mermaid that's not an animatronic and is actually real. Which honestly, like, why would you be disappointed about that?
Or you might be thrilled.
Or you might be accidentally pleasantly surprised. And as you think that you're leaving Fantasyland and you continue on, you're not. This land is huge.
It just keeps going.
It just keeps going. Because if you remember correctly, there used to be a place called Mickey's Toontown Fair, which back in 2012 was transformed into Storybook Circus. So you're going to pass the Mad Tea Party, where you'll see everyone getting dizzy and nauseous, spinning around in a gigantic teacup, and continue on to Storybook Circus, where you will find a cartoon-like big top atmosphere with the shortest roller coaster in America, Goofy's Barnstormer, which is great for the little ones as you're trying to like warm up your little ones into liking the thrill rides.
So like I said before, this would actually be the very first coaster I would try.
Yes.
Barnstormer, then Mine Train, then Thunder Mountain, then Space Mountain.
Yeah, that would be, that's a great hierarchy to
Yeah.
kind of work your way up. Absolutely.
That was our strategy at tours.
That's
so
a
if you want
great,
some inside info.
some inside cast member info.
The process of getting children to like roller
Yes.
coasters.
But the big attraction in Storybook Circus is got to be Dumbo the Flying Elephant, which is that classic attraction you've seen in every Disney World commercial since the dawn of time. You can't not do it. You have to do it at least once. And I will say it's really beautiful at night with the fountains and all of the different colors.
We have one more land.
Take us there,
and
Jess.
I'm going to take you there. We're going to transition into the future. Can you guess what it is? It's Tomorrowland. Yes, you may be confused because it does sometimes look like Yesterdayland with the theming. However, Tomorrowland is based on a futuristic view of what they thought the future was going to look like back in, the 1970s and 80s. You see Astro Orbiter, which when you are driving up to the Magic Kingdom, you can kind of see this from the road, but are these planet-looking things on this really high, tall structure. That is Astro Orbiter. It's like Dumbo and Magic Carpets of Aladdin, but with rockets. It's kind of, honestly, the worst option, in my opinion, of the three, just because the seating area is very small. You're just really crammed in there, and then you're up really high, and then you're going pretty fast in a circle, so you can get a little dizzy on that one. So, however, if you can handle that, it's a good view of the Magic Kingdom. Below Astro Orbiter, and the best attraction, in my opinion, in all of Walt Disney World and the Magic Kingdom, is Tomorrowland People Mover, the Tomorrowland Transit Authority. I'm obsessed with this ride. It's literally like, it's this little blue train that takes you through Tomorrowland, and you can see inside Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. You can see inside the gift shop, Mickey's Star Traders. You can see a great view of Tomorrowland. You can be on the People Mover, people watching. It is about like an 8 to 10 minute ride where you just can rest your feet and relax and just enjoy sitting and going on this nice ride. You get a little breeze, and actually, if you have anyone in your party who's a little nervous of going on Space Mountain, you go inside Space Mountain as well. You obviously don't get the feel of it, but you see how dark it is. You kind of hear some sounds from the ride. It's a cool experience. And if Space Mountain happens to be down and you happen to be on the People Mover, the lights might be on, which is a very unique experience, like doesn't happen very often ever. Anyways, near the People Mover, you have Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, which is an interactive laser shooting game where you're shooting lots of targets to defeat evil Emperor Zurg. Pew, pew. Tons of fun. There are some targets that actually score more points than others. One of the robot arms on the giant orange robot, that's one of them. One of the top targets on top of the volcano, and then also right underneath Zurg in one of the final rooms. Those are all really highly scored targets. So I just gave you a few secrets if you want to show off to your family and show how good you are at this game. Robot, volcano, Zurg. Don't forget.
You heard it here first on ReDIScover.
Absolutely. So right next to Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is another classic. This one is a Disney fan favorite. It's the Carousel of Progress. Carousel of Progress is an animatronic show where you're going to go through different decades and follow John Progress. And he's going to go through different decades like the 50s, 60s, 70s, and you'll see how the inventions in his house and his kitchenware and his exercise equipment and all sorts of things evolve over the years.
Did you say the 50s, 60s, and 70s?
What is it?
Are you talking about WandaVision?
No. Oh.
I think you're in WandaVision right now. It's like turn of the century.
Oh my god, you're right. I'm totally doing the WandaVision. I was like, what are you talking about?
Jess, that wasn't the 50s. That was like 1902.
Oh my god. So if you also don't know, I've been up since 3 a.m, and I also have a WandaVision obsession. So we're going to go back to the Carousel of Progress.
The show begins at the turn of the century, and John is just someone who's very into innovation and the way the world could go. He's very forward thinking, and he's taking us through his household and saying, this is where we are. This is what the world looks like. This is what we have in our household that makes our life easier. And aren't you so excited about progress? And You basically move through the theater. It's a rotating theater, so you move through 4 different scenes. You go through the 1920s and then the 40s. You get into the 90s at the end, which is a little bit of a blend of 90s and like there's a lot of AI and kind of like there's just a flat screen and some VR going on. Basically, the first version of Alexa is in their kitchen, but they're also dressed like the 90s, so it's a little confusing. But
it was the projected
the
future.
idea is progress and the celebration of innovation. Walt was very forward-thinking. He was very fascinated by the idea of using technology to progress the entertainment industry and everything that every pie that he had his hands in, and it's just a celebration of where we were, where we are, and where we're going in the future.
It's definitely a tribute to Walt, I think. It's really great that we still have it in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't ever get rid of it.
You know what else is Walt Disney's that we still have in the Magic Kingdom?
The Enchanted Tiki Room?
The Enchanted Tiki Room. So really quick, we're going to run, and you're going to get sweaty, and it's going to kind of suck. But there's Dole Whips where we're going, so don't freak out. We forgot something.
We forgot one of the most important attractions in Adventureland.
So come on. We're getting off the Carousel of Progress. We're running across the hub. Hi, Walt. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Castle. Yep, we're going. We're moving. We're going over the Adventureland Bridge. What's that? Yep, we're definitely in the right place. Okay, so we're going to go past the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, grab a Dole Whip really quick, eat it in 4 seconds, brain freeze, Enchanted Tiki Room.
So we forgot to talk about the Enchanted Tiki Room. It is very like Polynesian style theme and music. Again, great for air conditioning. There's even singing tikis on the wall, a rainstorm, lots of fun stuff. We needed to throw that in there because the Tiki Room is a Adventureland staple. So anyways, we're going to run back across the park, back into Tomorrowland.
Wait, we're not done with Tomorrowland?
We haven't talked about the attraction at the Magic Kingdom
No, we
yet.
already talked about Space Mountain.
No.
Oh, you just talked about going through it on the People Mover.
Yeah.
Ah! So we should
have
have done that first.
It's fine.
Now we're really out of breath.
So it's okay because we had a fast pass for Space Mountain. We had to run back.
Whew.
And now we're at Space Mountain, which is our final attraction in this episode. And we're
gotta walk uphill through the Star Tunnel.
It feels like miles.
Feels like you're walking to space.
You literally are. It feels like you're walking to space to get to Space Mountain, the attraction. You're going to sit in a rocket. It is single seats. There are 6 seats in a rocket. So if you have small children who just fit the height requirement, just, make sure they feel secure with you behind or in front of them. There are no significant drops. It is, again, kind of more about the twists and turns, ups and downs, but not any significant huge drops like Splash Mountain or anything close to that. So it's a lot of fun, especially if your kids are building up their roller coaster bravery. It is a huge cherry on top.
Jess, I'm going to go pass out on the hub grass. Have a nice day.
So that's the Magic Kingdom. That's the audio tour with Kristen and Jess. It was really frumpy, but what else do you expect? So we are going to wrap it up right here. So thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed going to the Magic Kingdom with us.
Sorry we tired you out there.
Stay tuned for the rest of this theme park series that we're doing in the month of April. We already did Epcot, so if you're ready to move on to that one, head on back to the episode at the beginning.
We'll link it in the show notes.
Yep, at the beginning of ReDIScover. You can go through Epcot, and then we'll come back next week with Hollywood Studios.
Hooray for the park that's disappointed me the most.
But now it's great.
But I still love it. We'll get into all the ups and downs, the heartbreak, the triumph. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster, and we're going to go on some real ones, too. It's going to be great.
What a drama.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Talk to you next week.
Bye.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of ReDIScover.
Please subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening. Your reviews are what keep us going, and we'd love to hear from you.
Join us every Tuesday for a new conversation, and let us know what you think we should talk about next.
Follow us on Instagram at positively.kristen and at jessicafay508. And check out Jess's blog at theroadjesstraveled with 1l.com.
Until next time,
Stay frumpy!